Hello everybody, my name is Yoshi Stack, and this is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers for the Super Nintendo, a game that I played a lot of as a kid, despite the fact that it's for a console that's not part of the traditional console lineup for people that are of my generation, but I played it a lot as a kid, felt like playing through it again. If you've never seen this game before, which is likely, it's a Power Ranger game, it's worth sticking around to watch, even if you don't like Power Rangers. It's a pretty enjoyable experience regardless. With all that said, let's get into it. So this game opens like a traditional episode of Power Rangers would, with everything on fire and the image of Rita Repulsa just staring down menacingly from the sky. I don't know why I couldn't say that. I'm sorry. My whole joke there is ruined now. We're to the character select screen. They were sick of my shenanigans, but anyway. Here, you get to choose what ranger you want to play as, and you can pick whoever you want. You got your choices between Jason, Billy, Kimberly, Zach, and Trini. There is no Tommy in this game. I'm assuming this game was made before they realized exactly how big Tommy was gonna get. But you have your pick of the original 5. They all play pretty much the same, and you can play as however many of them, or just stick with one if you really want to. For me personally, I have an order that I kind of have picked up over my years of playing this game that is just what I like to stick with now, and we start off the first level with Zach. Into Area 1 we go, and immediately we get hit with the fact that this game has some great music. Like, there's a lot good about this game. The music is one of the highlights. Alright, but getting into what we're- oh god. Getting my butt whooped already. Alright, so we've got the Putty Patrollers here, which they are normally just gray in the show, but for the sake of variety, we have some other colors like purple and now brown. The gray ones, you'll notice, were defeated in one punch, while these other ones take a few more hits. So, you just hit Y to punch them. If you do it enough, every ranger has their own little combo. Zach has his little, like, leg split thing. You know, you gotta have hip-hop keto. And, yeah, if you get real close to them, you can throw them. That's just kind of an automatic thing. You don't have to do a button press. You can jump kick. And, you try and dodge the putties, which, for some inexplicable reason, are armed with knives. Maybe it would have gone better for the putties in the show if they were given knives, but you know, for some reason, they opted not to do that. Something about it being a show for small children, and you know, there were enough concerns about violence as it was. But, alright. Get all these putties out of here. It is just really funny to me seeing them, like, absolutely just chuck a putty across the screen. It's always great. This is quite an outfit Zach has on, but Zach always had the great outfits. Oh, here's our first monster. Bones, and it's Morphin time! We morph into the Black Ranger with just a recolor of the Red Ranger's helmet. Everyone has the same sprite, just recolored, and I get why. You know, save on resources for the same character over and over again. But now that we're morphed, we have access to our weapon, we can jump better, we move a little faster, and we got healed from the little bit of damage we had taken. So we are entering the second phase. All levels have at least 2 phases to them, the part where you're unmorphed, and then the second half where you are morphed. The second half can be a little longer sometimes, but I mean, that makes sense. You watch Power Rangers, as a kid at least, you watch Power Rangers because, like, ooh, the cool superheroes and monster and fighting rubber-suited monsters, you know. I still watch Power Rangers now because I enjoy the stupidity of it and a lot of the characters. My favorite seasons are probably In Space and Jungle Fury. It's amazing how good Jungle Fury turned out, given the fact that it was made partially during a writer's strike. The fact that it's as coherent as it is incredible, but Yeah, and in space, meanwhile, that's just a really good written season of Power Rangers, and it, saved the franchise. Right now the franchise is kind of in limbo. Hasbro doesn't seem to know what to do with it, but I'm not getting into all that. Alright, so Zach's got his power axe. Who was driving this? Did the putties just, like, steal this truck? Oh, well, gone now. Doesn't matter. I hope whoever that was, had insurance on it. Does insurance cover it if it just, like, completely disintegrates? I think it would have to in this city like Angel Grove. I've always... Hang on. Power Rangers are gonna be a menace to society. I could disintegrate this car too, but it's more fun to just let it blow up. But yeah, what do you think the insurance has to be like in a city with Power Rangers, It's something I wonder about after, all my years watching Power Rangers. I've watched, like, every season up to Ninja Steel, and I've seen a little bit of all of them after that, but I just never committed to fully watching them. Alright, we finished our level. Now we've got our boss. Here's Bones. Bones has a cool cape, and a cool hat, and a sword, and I remember I had a hard time with him as a kid, and now as an adult, I have a little less trouble. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop and for me to start doing badly. Like, it's pretty easy to get this guy, if you know what you're doing. Oh, see, there, you got me there. I remember he would just get me all the time as a kid. Alright. His arms and cape are gone, but he still has the rest of his body, so we gotta get rid of that. I'm sad there's no Lightning Collection figure of Bones. I have a lot of the Lightning Collection. Well, I say a lot. I have specific teams, and I have some of the monsters too, and they never did one of Bones, and I hope if it comes back they do one. Alright, so we could try and keep hitting his floating head here like that. Or we can just hit X, and use our bomb, which summons a flashing mastodon and a bunch of boulders, and there he's dead. We're gonna black flip, oh my god! I mean, I guess that wasn't what I was going. Backflip our way into victory. This game is old enough that it still uses a password system. Remember when video games did that? I mean, it's before my time, but I played enough of these games that I do remember it. But that's the end of stage 1. On to stage 2 we go. And who do I play as for stage 2? It's Billy's time to shine. Area 2, with still awesome music. This game has a great soundtrack. I cannot emphasize that enough. Oh, got these weird things. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I love Billy's sprites because, like, he's supposed to be, like, unsure about fighting, and you can tell. The angle of his kick, though, always makes me think I'm not gonna hit an enemy with it when it has, I think, the same hitbox as anything else. Come on. Ooh. He does this, like, pretty good flip through the air, too. Like, that's impressive for, the character that was supposed to be the nerdy one. I mean, it's really funny because you see, like, images of David Yost, like, back then, and as the seasons went on, they kind of abandoned, like, he's the nerd that doesn't know how to fight, because, I mean, it had been several years at that point, but just, like, how buff his arms are. Because, I mean, David Yost was a gymnast, so it's not like he was, actually like that. Imagine that actors are not their characters. That is a lesson that I think a lot of people need to learn, particularly people that like Power Rangers. Stop trying to stab me. Billy has done nothing wrong. Maybe he kicked you in the face, but you tried to stab him first. And also, yes, this has suddenly become a game of Donkey Kong. Dodge the barrel. We did it. However many points. I don't remember how many points you get in Donkey Kong. I've only played Donkey Kong, like the original one, a couple times, and I did very badly at it. Oh, there's 2 barrels. More points. I do think it's fun that the putties, like, for no reason will change, like, little details about their sprites. Like, the purple putties here have blue eyes instead of the red ones from before, and I don't know why. It seems like such a strange detail to change. Oh, get these barrels out of here. These green ones are annoying because they jump a lot, and they'll like fly back further when you hit them, so that makes them more annoying to get rid of. Also, Billy's combo is like fun to look at, but it's kind of annoying in practice because like he kind of stands still for longer than the others do, so that leaves him vulnerable because you don't really get much in the way of iframes in this game, which is frustrating. That's a problem I have in other Power Ranger games too, but ooh, here's I think this is the gnarly gnome. It's Morphin time, which I think this was actually a Billy-centric episode. I think this is the one that had the deaf girl and her friends got hypnotized by the music. In case you're wondering, yes, my brain is taken up by way too much knowledge about Power Ranger facts and not nearly enough about things that are actually important. Like, I would just be taking a test in school. It's not even just limited to high school, just like school in general. And I would be like, I need to remember this formula for math. And instead, I would just be like, have a Power Rangers theme song playing on loop in my head. And you know, it's not like any of them are particularly complicated. Most of them are just variations of the word go. You know, it took a long time for there to be a season of Power Rangers that didn't have the word go in the theme song. And again, having knowledge like that, and not remembering actually things that I needed to know for tests and such. What a life I live. But this level sees us. I've been completely ignoring it. This level just has us going on these platforms, and we swing ourselves up. The red ones you can fall through, the blue ones you cannot. And now we move on. And Billy's got it. Oh my god, stop stabbing me! I did not agree to being stabbed. Only I get to do the stabbing around here. With my power lance. Or I think this episode was the one where they called the power weapon something different for some inexplicable reason. Early Power Rangers is so weird. It gets even better once you learn the fact that like some of the episodes they didn't have like any indication of what was going on in the Japanese footage at all. Like they didn't have any translations or subtitles, so they were really just making up whatever. So it gives early Power Rangers this great charm, and I don't feel like dealing with you. Get Triceratopsed. Alright, let's move on. Gotta destroy these to move on. I don't know why I love that sound of the metal so much. And alright, I think this happened last stage too, but something you may have noticed is that I had almost full health when I grabbed that health kit. And it gave me overflow health, and it went like slightly this bluish color. I think the highest color it goes is like a light purple, which saying the highest color it goes is quite a sentence, I'm aware. But yeah, that's something I've always liked about this game, is that you can have more than what looks like your max health. Alright, and yes, I ran into that. Thank you for noticing. I can't get rid of it. Oh my god, please, Billy, please. I did get another bomb from that trash can. Every level has a bomb hidden within it. I usually like to save the bombs for the bosses, but there are areas where I will use them otherwise. And also, yes, you can wall jump. The game doesn't give you any indication that you can do this, but it is a Super Nintendo game. They probably expect you to read the manual. Remember when manuals in games were a thing? Now it's if it's anything, it's a digital thing. I always love when Nintendo's like, read the digital manual. Billy, please turn around. Thank you. Oh, I don't like this area. Get out of here. Oh, I got comboed. Oh my god, I'm surprised I didn't get hurt there. There we go. Okay, sorry. Let's keep going. Platforming is not this game's strong suit, but it's gonna ask me to do some here. And here, yep. And just already screwing that up as I talk about it. Get out of here. There's just a bunch of random stuff in this game. Oh my god. I've known for years how to make that jump, and I screwed it up. This is my curse. Well, it's not specifically my curse. It's the curse of anyone that does a video on the internet, I think. I call it a Let's Play curse, but to call myself a Let's Player, I think, is being very generous to what I'm doing here. if you've stuck around this long, I appreciate it. And that guy has like a flail or a ball and chain. Like, I don't know what you call that. Is it a mace? I thought a mace was like a solid stick. Whatever that thing is, not something a putty normally has. Very, very strange. They gave the putties all sorts of weapons in this, and it's kind of hilarious, especially, again, in the show. They just had, like, occasionally they had, like, sculpted on kind of weapons, because, you know, they're made of clay. But, you know, they were nothing like giant swords or that, or knives. This game is wild. But with that, we've made it to the gnarly gnome, and I'm gonna fight it the best way I know how. Up here. And he's gonna teleport around. But from here, you can get every area except the floor, so this is the best place to do it. And yeah, it's not really worth it to try and hit him in the combo. You can hit up and the attack button, and Billy will, well, not just Billy, any of the Rangers will do their, I guess, end of combo attack, but I don't know that it does significantly more damage. The only one that, like, is super different is Kimberly, which we'll get there. I'll show it off when we get there, rather. But yeah, otherwise it's just stand here, and eventually he starts going fast enough, or going super fast for teleporting. And that's when we, oh, I timed it wrong. We still took a little damage, but yeah. That one's a pain because you have to try and time it where he's not teleporting, because obviously he's invincible during that. And yeah, I mean, I can still handle this boss fight fine, but I wanted to show off my sick tricks. I use that term very loosely. I've never claimed to be a professional at anything in my life, let alone playing this game. I had a hard time with this game as a kid, and as an adult, like, it's not that hard. The movie game is genuinely a lot harder, and maybe I'll play that one too at some point if people want me to. Oh, he's dead. We did it. Jump around in celebration. We did it. But the movie game, I enjoy the movie game for the Super Nintendo, but it is very difficult. Like, that one took me a lot longer to beat than this one ever did. And that one doesn't have passwords. But we finished Area 2, on to Area 3. And who is going to tackle that area? Jason himself. Area 3 takes us into the sewers, so Jason's not going to have a very good day with his bright. Those are the words I was looking for. Talking is hard. If you've watched my stuff before, you know that that's a struggle. Not for any particular reason, just because I'm me. We got these things in the water that we got to get rid of. There's these spiders that are a pain to deal with. I'd say a pain. We just jump up and punch them. But the putties have red eyes again. I don't know why they had blue eyes in the other stage. I don't know if that was like a color palette thing with the stage or what. I mean, I don't know how making a video game works, let alone making a video game for a console like the Super Nintendo. Get out of here. There we go. But I already gave my favorite seasons earlier. How do I feel about Mighty Morphin? I like Mighty Morphin. There's a charm to it, particularly Season 1. Season 1 is not as good as, you remember it being, and I don't mean that it's bad, but, like, the fight scenes in particular, they were still figuring stuff out. Like, they had, like, eventually, it's very clear that they get, like, the team that does Super Sentai to be doing the stunts, because there's a noticeable jump in quality of the stunts in the third season of Mighty Morphin that kind of persists throughout the rest of the shows. But Season 1, you can tell they were just kind of winging it, and, oh wow, I just jumped straight into that. I can't even be mad about that. That was all me. But yeah, you can tell. And again, there's a charm to Season 1, because you've got, you know, great episodes like the ones where Billy and Kimberly become punks, or, I mean, this is later in Season 1 when they start using the other footage, I think. But, you know, the Mantis has shamed Trini. Trini is so concerned of that, she fought dishonorably against a monster that, like, she, like, comes to challenge a monster one-on-one who lied about it being one-on-one. but just like Rita has this line, the man just says shamed Trini, and by the way, it's Morphin time. For the, and it's I have that figure. God, I just completely was about to ignore the fact that it's I-Guy. I-Guy is one of the most iconic monsters. Haha, get it? Iconic? Ha ha ha. Yeah, I know, I'm not funny. Anyway. Yeah, season 1 has its charm. I think my favorite is actually season 3. I think Kimberly's departure arc is done really well. And, yeah, I don't know. Well, I don't have a whole lot to say about Mighty Morphin. It's certainly very charming, but people that act like it is the greatest thing ever, I think haven't watched other seasons of Power Rangers. And for some people, that's because they just, you know, grew out of Power Rangers, and that's fine. But people that genuinely are, like, still into Power Rangers and are like, season 1 of Mighty Morphin's the best, I'm just like, no. But I grew up with the Disney era, because if you're not familiar with eras of Power Rangers, there's like 4 big eras. There's the Saban era, which is the original era of Mighty Morphin through... I know it got bought out during Wild Force, but I consider Wild Force still Saban era just because it was still filmed in California. And then there's the Disney era, which that's what I grew up with. After that is the Neo Saban era, where they bought it back because Disney was going to end it. And then, most recently, we have the Hasbro era, which has not produced a whole lot, but it does exist. But yeah, the Disney era is what I grew up with, and I have a fondness for pretty much every season in that, even Overdrive, which, you know, people say is like, Overdrive's not good. Well, one, they're exaggerating. I mean, Overdrive is not the greatest season ever, but it's not like the worst thing Power Rangers has ever come up with. But I mean, that's the season like I grew up with, that like I remember episodes like actively coming out for that season, and I don't remember that for the other seasons that I watched, because I watched SPD through Jungle Fury. And it's funny, as a kid, I think it was mostly because, like, I was getting to the age where people were starting to make fun of me for liking Power Rangers, but, like, I didn't want to let go of Power Rangers, so I just decided that Jungle Fury was bad. And it's really funny because, as I said earlier, Jungle Fury is one of my favorite seasons now. Like, it's a great season. And I was just like, I like these other ones, and I don't want to keep making fun of me, so... Jungle Fury bad? Question mark? But those are what I grew up with. I didn't really get to see RPM because I think they switched channels and it wasn't on Jetix anymore. Which, I mean, Jetix stopped being a thing, I think, pretty soon after that. Which, I mean, that was also a very sad day. Mourn the loss of Jetix. I know Jetix was a thing in other countries for longer, but in the US, I think it stopped around 2010-ish. And that's when it got replaced with, like, Disney XD, or... I think that's what it was. Okay, we had to swim through that. Alright. I don't know why the sewers are set up like this, but then again, why does Angel Grove have an abandoned warehouse district? I always love that, though. They're just like, oh no, the abandoned warehouse district, or... My other favorite thing is when they're just like, oh no, you know, whatever monster is attacking the quarry. And I get why. It's because it's the most cost-effective thing to film, like, all the explosions and stunt stuff in a location like a quarry, and that's health, and we don't need that. So, like, I understand why, but just thinking about it, like, practically speaking, I'm like, is anyone at the quarry? And the answer is almost always no. So, like, why do you care? Other than, I mean, I guess stopping the monster is important, but they treat the fact that it's attacking the quarry like some great big thing. Alright, take on Eye Guy here. He's gonna launch a bunch of eyeballs at us. Oh, he's firing lasers. Oh, man. Man, the one thing I will say about the sprite here is for Jason is that the power sword is looking a little lame here. It looks more like the blade blaster, like blade part than it really does the power sword. And please stop doing that. Thank you. Nope. Oh, this laser attack is the worst thing because, like, by the time you realize what's going on, it's almost too late to react to it. Oop! Okay, that was my fault. I should have backflipped away. Oh, wait, no, I can't backflip in this one. That's the movie game. Oh, no! Okay, well, we got rid of his body. Now it's just other eye. Come here. Oh, that was bad. Okay. I'm gonna hit you with a Tyrannosaurus. That's what Jason does best. All right, we did it. We beat Eye Guy. I did it. I know. I'm not funny. I'm aware. But we beat the sewers. We did not find any Ninja Turtles in there though. That's not till in space. Or, well, actually, the comics did that too. But whatever. On to stage 4. We're gonna play as my favorite of the original 5, Kimberly. Into Area 4, which looks to be an office building, I think. Which, you know, that's kind of an interesting thing for, you know, a teenager to run into. In the midst of a monster attack. Like, I get when they're rangers, they can go anywhere, but like, just as like normal teenager Kimberly, she's like, I'm gonna go help people in this office that are being attacked by monsters. You would think authorities would be like, no, but I mean, it is Kimberly, and she once landed a plane, so like, she can do what she wants. You know, you remember that episode for anyone that is watching that watched Power Rangers, which I imagine if you made it this far, you probably have. But if you haven't, you get to hear some wild stories about Power Rangers. There's an episode where Kimberly is going flying with her uncle, who's a pilot, but Rita puts like a potion in the soda he was drinking before that makes him fall asleep. And also the comedy duo Bulk and Skull are there too, so like that adds extra drama of like, oh my god, there's people in this plane. And so Kimberly, the only one awake, because Bulk and Skull pass out for comedic effect. Kimberly has to land the plane by herself. Like, she contacts the command center for help on what to do, but like, she's the one flying the plane. Like, you know, that's scary. And she does it, and that's how they get her out of the way for the stock footage they're using. Which, just, that's quite a way to get a character out of the way. Like, yeah, she can't come right now. She's busy trying to land an airplane. Just again, early Power Rangers is like, it's crazy. I mean, I love the newer stuff, and I say newer as in like, you know, stuff that I grew up with, which is, you know, technically true. It is comparatively newer, but not like the new like the actual new stuff. I haven't seen too much of, as I mentioned before, but like. Early Power Rangers had some weird stuff going on that, you know, just they're never going to be able to replicate because they eventually did get a working system for how to adapt or write around footage. And it's just like the old stuff. It's so bonkers. I love it. But Kimberly was always my favorite of the original 5, which is funny because for a long time I didn't like the color pink except in the context of 2 things. Power Rangers I usually like the Pink Ranger a lot, and I went as the Pink Ranger 2 times for Halloween, Mystic Force and Operation Overdrive Pink. And also the character Aelita from Code Lyoko, because she was pink as well, and she was my favorite character. She's my favorite character on that show, so. Pink was okay in those 2 contexts only. I like to say I went through my I'm not like other girls phase early, because I did. I've since recovered. Made a full recovery. Everyone's very proud of me. Alright. All these putties. Get out of here. Oh. Yeah, the brown ones introduce a new thing. They have finger bullets. I don't know. Are those throwing knives? Those might be throwing knives, actually, now that I think about it. I've always just been like, yeah, those are throwing knives. I'm so stupid. I looked at the tip, they were finger bullets. Oh my god. I've been playing this game for like 15 years and I only just realized that it's Morphin time. Oh my god. I'm such an idiot. And again, the eye colors of the putties changes for no discernible reason. But they have throwing knives. I have a bow. I don't particularly use this feature of it very often. We usually just like to whack people with it, as you know. You often use a bow. Oh my god, I'm taking a lot of damage. But yeah. Sorry, I'm just reeling from the fact that I just realized that was a throwing knife. Yeah, I've been playing this game for like 15 years. Played it many times. Only just now, at almost 24, did I realize. I never said I was smart. I don't know why. Well, at least there's your bit of comedy for this video, me being stupid. And yeah, we're going up this elevator thing. That it was good for that, and yeah, this thing's gonna explode, so what are we gonna do? We're gonna grab onto there. You will die if you let go or stay on that elevator. Now we're up. Alright. Okay, no, that's the thing to grow up to. Okay, good, more health. Okay, this weird crystal-y looking thing. Okay, I thought I was gonna land on it. I was just like, I'm gonna have to eat this. I didn't. Didn't have to eat something I didn't want to. We love being able to make choices about what we want to eat. Yeah, I had see those are bullets. Those aren't throwing knives. Also, who gave a putty a gun? It's Nerf for nothing, baby. Alright, let's keep going. Yeah, we're definitely in like some kind of office building. And I don't know why. I guess they're attacking everywhere, I guess is the main point. And I do love sending the putties into the void like that just by hitting them as they're climbing on this thing. And for some reason, the sprite of like the Rangers like climbing across those bars, it's always stuck out in my head, and I don't know why. It's not like there's anything particularly special about it. This is not a very safe construction site. I don't think this place is OSHA compliant. That's a bomb that we don't need. Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, I was too brave with that. Oh, now I can't. Oh, I've lost out on being able to do that. That's unfortunate. Okay. God, I'm doing all sorts of things tonight. Wow. All sorts of things are happening. All sorts of things are being said out of my mouth because I'm the only one here. As I have stated many times in videos before, I'm by myself in my bedroom. Is that good or a bad thing? You decide. This stupid hot air balloon looking thing. I always hate this stupid thing. Oh my god, that is the smoothest that fight has ever gone, because it can like go under here and like just stay there, and it usually does. It stays there for like a minute, and it makes my life, terrible, and that could have gone a lot worse than it went. Okay. Now I'm paranoid about making jumps. On to the boss, which I believe this is the genie from... Actually, I believe the body swap episode. Was it the body swap? The one between Billy and Kimberly. Which, you know, that one was awesome because, like, David Yost and Amy Jo Johnson do a great job of, capturing each other's, like, mannerisms. Oh god, get these things out of here. Get these knives out of here! Okay. You're gonna get hit by the power of the pterodactyl. She spreads her arms out like a pterodactyl too. Kimberly is the pterodactyl. Get out of here. But yeah, Power has done its fair share of body swaps over the years, which I mean makes sense. There's been a lot of seasons, so like they're gonna reuse themes at some point. But the first one is really good. The one in space is also really good. That one's between the Yellow Ranger and the bad guy that season, Astronema, and like They did a really good job acting like the other person, which is even more impressive because they didn't usually film scenes together just because of the nature of how Power Rangers is filmed. And yeah, that was that boss. He's kind of a pain, but we did it. Kimberly is gonna backflip to 1970. I mean, Kimberly did do a lot of backflips. That was the thing she did a lot. But we did it. Okay. Now on to our final area where we're gonna play as Trini. May Tweetrang rest in peace. Which, you know, speaking of which, did anyone watch Power Rangers Once and Always? That was the 30th anniversary thing that came out earlier this year, and it handled the subject of Trini, which is, you know, not something they've ever done before because, you know, it's Power Rangers, and addressing a character dying, like for real dying, is not something Power Rangers usually goes for. And it wasn't perfect. I don't like how Trini didn't, and I get, you know, they're working around the fact that Tweetrang is gone and has been for a long time. Trini, unfortunately, didn't really get a whole lot. We didn't get to learn a whole lot about Trini other than the fact that she had a daughter. And, like, I love Min. Min is fantastic. I hope she gets to reappear. Because, like, she was fantastic. But we didn't really get to learn a whole lot about Trini, what she'd been up to before she died, as a character, other than the fact that she has a daughter, and that putty has a big sword. Please don't stab me. But I liked getting to see what the other characters were up to. It was sad not to have the other three original Rangers there, of, you know, Jason, Kimberly, and Tommy. And it's even, not to be a downer, it's even sadder in hindsight, given that Jason David Frank is also no longer with us. But what they managed to do with it, I liked. But yeah, going back to Jason David Frank, it's wild that it's been a year since that happened. And I'm not gonna get too into that because, again, I don't want to be a downer, and I know that's a very heavy subject. But I will just say, checking on your loved ones. I know that is a very tired phrase, but again, it's never a bad thing to check up on them. Just, you know, tell them you love them, all that. And yeah, it's wild that it's been a year. But moving on to happier things, God, what do I want to talk about? I was like, I'm gonna have a segue. I don't know how to segue. Oh God. Amy Jo Johnson has been teasing stuff for her comic that she's writing, and I'm very interested in seeing how that's gonna go. Oh, hold on. It's Morphin time. Okay. Had to get that out of the way. It's very important. And I didn't want to be distracted for once during that. But Amy Jo Johnson is writing, it's sort of like an alternate universe kind of thing, where like the original original 6 really, all stayed as Rangers for many years. So Jason, Zach, and Trini never left, and also it looks like Tommy and Kimberly got married in this version, and they're gonna have a daughter named Olivia, which I'm curious to see how that is. And some people are complaining about it, that there's been too much, like, oh, it's another Mighty Morphin thing. And on one hand, I get it, because there is a lot of Mighty Morphin stuff, and I get why. According to pop culture, it's the only one that exists. So they're, of course, gonna cater to that. But some people are just like, there's too much Mighty Morphin. And while I get it, it's a thing written by the original Pink Ranger herself. Like, what? Did you expect her to do something about a season that she's not been a part of? And, like, she doesn't pay that much attention to fanish kind of things. And, like, that's fine. I don't mean it as a dig towards her. You know, a lot of people forget that, you know, actors in shows like these, you know, it's important to a lot of people growing up, and I know that a lot of them appreciate that fact, but it's also, at the end of the day, just a job for them. Like, you know, it's amazing that it has this wide legacy, Power Rangers, that, you know, has impacted so many people in so many positive ways, but, like, it was still just a job for them at the end of the day. And, expecting them to know every single thing about every season and every little detail about the character that they played, you know, going on upwards of 20 years ago for a lot of seasons, that's a lot, and, people are setting themselves up for disappointment in that. But, I mean, I'm excited to see what she does with, I think it's called The Return. And, I'm excited to see what her take on it is. Some people are like, well, she's presenting it as, like her definitive version. Like, I admit I haven't read all of the stuff she said about it, but I think it's pretty clear of just, like, being like a what-if kind of story. Not a, this is what Power Rangers should have been like. And there's a lot of way Power Rangers should have been. Just in terms of, like, hey, they should have been paid, like, a decent wage, and, you know, not been subjected to some of the things that they were subjected to. Power Rangers is very notoriously, for a long time, was a non-union production, so a lot of things happened that shouldn't have. We're gonna leave it at that. There's a bunch of stories online, you can look them up. But yeah, just people that's just one of those kind of complaints that I'm just like, I don't really know what you expected someone that was involved in the original season to do. If you didn't think she was going to do something involving those characters in that season, you're crazy. But again, I'm looking forward to seeing what comes of it, and I think it'll be good. Just the preview that I've seen of it, because they did like a preview kind of thing in like I think it was like a anniversary kind of comic thing that had like a compilation of some. I know there was another one about like Ernie. He was the guy that runs the juice bar, and that's the only other one I really remember. But I mean, that one was fun. Yeah, just things to look forward to next year. Which, man, it's wild. 2024 is almost here. This year has kind of flown by. And, you know, not to get too into, you know, me doing all this, especially, you know, if this is just the first video of mine you're watching, you're gonna be like, this means nothing to me, what I'm about to say. But, like, it's crazy that I've been doing this for, like, I look at the upload time for some of the videos, it'll be, like, 5 months ago. I'm like, what do you mean? And also, yes, there's this giant laser here. I knew about it, but if it's your first time playing this game, you will be jump scared by it. Anyway, yeah, it's just crazy to think how long, I've kind of been doing this. And, I appreciate anyone that's here. Especially, you know I ramble a lot. That's just kind of how I am. And people that are willing to put up with that are, appreciated. Oh god, I didn't want to get up. Why'd you do that to me, game? Get this thing out of here. There we go. This whole stage is very weird. I don't know what this, like, secret lab thing is supposed to be. Get out of here with your... I still love my interpretation of it being finger bullets, but those are definitely throwing knives. Yeah, this secret lab is weird. This game is not as weird as the movie game is, though, because the movie game is titled that, and then, aside from it having Ivan Ooze at the end, has nothing to do with the movie. At all. And I mean, I get it's just, you know, it's supposed to be like, oh, it's just supposed to be a tie-in kind of game because, you know, Power Rangers makes money. The Power Rangers movie's gonna make money. People are gonna want that. But it's just funny how at least the Super Nintendo one has nothing to do with the movie outside of Ivan Ooze being there. Be playing through it and I'll be like, yeah, these are just a bunch of monsters from season 2. But this didn't happen in the movie at all. Yeah, where's that weird pig guy that's just in the movie for some reason? For no like, I don't know. I was trying to say no inexplicable reason, and I don't think that's the phrase. Okay. We're gonna hit you with the power of the saber-toothed tiger. All right. Where are you? Oh, you got your little chain thing now. Get out of here. Also, something I should note, because I haven't this entire playthrough, is you may have noticed that I haven't picked up any extra lives, and that's because there are none as far as I'm aware in this game. You get your, it's technically 3 lives because 0 counts as a life, but you get those lives, and that's it. I guess they figured the overflow health should be good enough, but we defeated that guy. I think that guy was supposed to be the Dark Warrior. I don't know for certain. I've been playing this game for 15 years, and I've never bothered to look up which monster that is, but it doesn't really matter. We finished that area, and you may be like, you said that was the final area. So what's next? Well, any good episode of Power Rangers, of course, has to summon the Zords. So we're gonna have our sequence here. It is not gonna be as long as it is when they summon the Thunder Zords in Season 2, because every time they do that, they have to play the full clip of them saying the name. And remember, they also say the original dinosaur too, so it'll be something like Pterodactyl Firebird Thunder Zord Power, or the biggest mouthful of them all, Saber-tooth Tiger Griffin Thunder Zord Power, which is always said that way. But this is Season 1, so it's just the original Megazord, which, you know, you gotta love the original Megazord. It's iconic. It's truly amazing that the Sentai that they finally managed to actually adapt into Power Rangers, because Saban had been trying for years. The one they finally got to actually do was the dinosaur-themed one, because I think if they had done it with any other season, I'm not sure Power Rangers would have been the success that it was back then. I mean, I know Power Rangers is still now, but like, it's never gonna be as big as it was when it came out. It's like, that was like they blocked, they like made the highway in California like a complete standstill because so many people were trying to meet them at Universal. Which, I mean, I know California having traffic is nothing new, but still, it's impressive. All right, and oh god. So yeah, the Megazord fights. You've got this power meter that will build up. You hit X and you unleash a special attack that increases as time goes on. Otherwise, the best strategy is to just kind of walk backwards because you'll automatically block when you do that. And when you do attack, do a jump slash. Oh my god. Got him! I'm also so glad that we're doing this in front of, like, a nuclear power plant? I mean, again, that kind of thing probably appeared in the show a lot, but just, wow. The kind of places Angel Grove has. Alright, one more stage to go. Area 7. It's on the moon! And I do appreciate that it says Bandora's Palace, even though it is, Bandora means nothing in the context of Power Rangers. But here we're fighting Cyclopsis. I do not remember the name of the other monster. Again, I've played this game for so many years, and I have never bothered to look up things about it. You know, as a kid, I definitely could have looked up passwords, and I didn't. I was like, I have to earn it. Although I was very willing to use the passwords from the password from the movie game that lets you have the morph from the beginning. But to be fair, that game is so hard. I mean, this boss is not super easy, but okay. Oh, okay. Come here. Yeah, I don't know why I remember Cyclopsis. I guess just something about it. I mean, it was from a sort of memorable episode. I mean, it was supposed to be the finale of Power Rangers, and then they were just like, oh, hey, this is a hit. Like, we can't end this right now. Okay. All right, and now it's time to finish this. But wait, there's more. I think in the show they beat Cyclopsis by like doing the transitions between a lot of the Zord configurations. So they'd go to like tank mode and then like Dragon Zord in battle mode and then the Ultra Zord. And I mean they ultimately killed it with the Ultra Zord. But like, oh my god! Oh my god! Oh, we might have to do this again. Oh, we're definitely gonna do this again. Yep. Oh my god. That was so hard! Oh, it just gives you a game over here! Wow! Alright, well, we're redoing that. Okay, we're back where we were. I don't remember if I had more or less health this time than I did last time, but we're gonna make another attempt here. Okay. Come on. What you gonna do? Oop, I don't like that. Come here. Oop. Sometimes this fight goes like super easy and sometimes it goes super poorly. And my luck right now seems to be it going poorly. It's like an actual episode of Power Rangers. It's just what is supposed to happen? Oh my god. Come here. No. His attacks are so fast. No, stop. Okay, we got him there. Come on. Oh my god, we did it! Thank god. Okay. That had more tension than an actual episode of Power Rangers. I mean, by virtue of it's a kid's show, it's not usually super tense. At least in my experience, but what do I know? I say that, I've watched a lot of Power Rangers. But in any case, that is it! That is the final boss of the game. You never fight Rita directly. But I mean, they never do in the show either. Unless you want to count Once and Always, but... What do you do when you, beat some guy and save the world? Break traffic safety laws, apparently. You guys are supposed to be setting a good example for the kids, and most of you are not wearing your seatbelt. That seems, very dangerous. I'm just saying. None of them seem inclined to listen to what I have to say. That's their tickets. Or, grievous injuries if they get into a car accident. Remember to wear your seatbelt. But they got to the juice bar, which, I appreciate. They gave sprites for Ernie, Bulk, and Skull. And I love how everyone else gets unique sprites except for Billy, who's just awkwardly standing there, and then the credits roll. This is a game that I grew up playing a lot. I was determined to beat this game. It's like, as a kid, I had a hard time just beating the first boss. And, you know, now, it's... I've cut out a little bit, because you didn't need to see the repeat Cyclopsis fight. But, yeah, it's under an hour. It's short. It's fairly easy if you're not 7 and stupid. And it's worth looking into even if you're not a fan of Power Rangers, because like it's not a bad little beat 'em up. It's gonna mean more to you if you like Power Rangers, but the sprite work's good. The abilities the Rangers have are, you know, it's simple, but it's good. I enjoyed it a lot. And if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I'm not gonna do an outro yet, but we're almost there. Project Power Rangers, wow. I also just appreciate the amount of detail that is in the juice bar, like, background. That's pretty good. Presented by Bandai, thank you for this wonderful experience, and now we have Zack dancing, which I believe that animation is also his idle animation, if, you just wait around in a level, because I think they all have idle animations, but... I didn't stop to see if that's true. Rita still looks down from the sky because she lives there. I mean, she did live on the moon. But you also get these passcodes, which I believe these are for a two-player mode for the Megazord. At least one of those is. Yeah, because it would be all 3 phases, I think. All 3 of them, because there's the second phase of Cyclopsis. I didn't look at this ahead of time, but that is the end of this game. If I hit start, it'll just take us back to the menu, but that's it. And I think we're gonna say Finn here as well. And I still don't have an outro, but if you made it this far, thank you so much for putting up with me, and I hope you will stick around and see what else is going on my channel. I'm not your boss, though. You do what you want. See you around.